Well, we are in, and now we are saying goodbye to the bike.
They arrived in Iran just over a year ago. Now their future has been decided by a judge. Craig and Lindsay Foreman have just learned they've been sentenced to 10 years in jail, accused of being spies, charges they deny.
Hi Craig, how you doing?
How are you?
When Craig spoke to me over the phone from prison at the weekend, he appealed for more support.
What would you say then to the British government?
Well, one word would be help. Full stop. Just help, I don't understand why we have still been here for 13 months being held hostage in 2026. In what day and age does this feel? And when does this end?
Last night, a phone call to his family from the Foreign Office confirmed the severe sentence.
Devastating to begin with. I mean, it was a very weird thing to try and get your head round. It's a long time. The fact that they're innocent of being charged with a crime.
After 13 months in prison, the stakes are rising, driven by the growing prospect of American military action against Iran and the fear that Craig and Lindsay could be used as leverage.
Well, this sentence is completely appalling and totally unjustifiable. That is why we will continue to intensely press the Iranian regime.
The most pitiful, depressing moment I think I've ever experienced.
Last week, speaking to me from prison, Lindsay said their only offence had been naivety, choosing to pass through Iran during their round-the-world motorcycle journey. At times since then, they've been held in solitary confinement.
57 days in solitary, emotionally and physically broke me to pieces. Thrown in an 8-foot cell with a hole in the floor. I was weeping and crying many, many nights, many, many days. It's quite a hard task to put into words.
He's now being held just a few yards from his wife, the promise of occasional visits used as a tool by the guards.
The ironic thing, I know her prison is 70 metres away, and I get to see her once a month. For me and for Lindsay, seeing each other on a regular basis is pretty much the only thing that's keeping us going right now.
They will both appear before a judge in Tehran this week, but their future may be shaped by events far beyond the courtroom. Rohit Katru, ITV News.
Tell me first of all how you heard this news and how you felt when you heard it.
Yeah, so we got the call from the Foreign Office who'd been notified, so their Tehran-based team had been notified by the lawyer, so my mum and Craig's lawyer, that he'd been summoned to court and that 10-year sentence had been passed down to both my parents. Feelings-wise, I mean, it was devastating to begin with. I mean, it was a very weird thing to try and get your head round. It's a long time. The fact that they're innocent of being charged with a crime and such a, quite a severe crime as well, which is state-level espionage, with no evidence, right? So it's a very weird paradox. It's almost that nothing happened for 14 months. They've been to court in October for the last time, and the court proceedings had almost died a death, right? And then out of nowhere, called in 10 years. So tough to hear, but then your brain starts to work. It's okay, well, this is movement. This is actually, and I've said this before, and it's like a diagnosis. You're at the doctor's and you don't know what's wrong, and then you finally get the diagnosis and you go, oh, that's not good news, but at least now I know where we're at and we can start to fight to recover and get this back on track. So it has been sad, but also has given us the ability to go, right, we can push on from here. The government can now take action. They have said all along that they have to wait for sentencing. Well, that day's come. Yvette Cooper has already spoken out about this, that she's appalled and that they will keep pushing. And now, hopefully, we'll see the dial turn in the right way. It's very, very raw and fresh, so no doubt the emotions will be up and down still. But if we can start to get a plan of action together where strategy comes into it, I think, you know, hopefully we can learn a lesson from Nazanin's case, for example, and try and get this nipped in the bud so that we're not waiting another 6 years and they're home as soon as possible.